In this video, we will discuss what are the surface finish requirements for equipment used in pharmaceuticals. Hi guys, welcome to my channel with another video. In this video, we will discuss about surface finish requirements of a pharmaceutical equipment and discuss what are the requirements in terms of stainless steel, surface roughness, orbital welding, and dead points. So let's start. Generally speaking, surface finish is the physical appearance of any surface, whether metallic or non-metallic. It is the distribution of surface features throughout the body of that particular equipment. It is a measure of deviation in surface smoothness throughout any object surface. For a pharmaceutical point of view, surface finish is the measure of surface smoothness of pharma equipment. It is a measure of how well the surface of pharma equipment fulfills certain requirements which help to prevent contamination and microbial growth. Always mention these requirements during buying process in a purchasing document such as user requirement specifications. Because these specifications are critical, not only these help in preventing contamination and reducing microbial growth, these requirements are also the requirements of regulatory bodies. So a pharma company can get a warning if a surface finish requirements are not fulfilled in a pharmaceutical industry. Specifying these requirements also helps in claiming from the manufacturer if it has not provided, because after all, it will be the buyer that has to face the consequences. Now let's discuss what are the requirements of surface finish for a pharmaceutical equipment. As mentioned previously, finish is the name of fulfilling certain requirements related to pharmaceutical equipment surface characteristics. These requirements include stainless steel, surface roughness, orbital welding, and dead points. When these requirements are included during the manufacturing of equipment, its surface is said to be compliant. If any of these requirements are not fulfilled, surface finish characteristics are not said to be fulfilled and the equipment is not allowed for pharmaceutical production. Let's briefly look at these individual parameters and see what are their requirements. Stainless steel. Stainless steel is the most important requirement for pharma equipment because every pharma equipment of every product, department, and dosage forms consist of parts that come in direct contact with the product. Stainless steel can withstand chemical reaction. This property is very critical because pharma product is all about different chemicals. If the pharma equipment material is not chemical resistant, it will react with the surface and will change the product characteristics. Stainless steel is also corrosion resistant. It means it does not change its natural properties when exposed to the surrounding environment or adverse conditions such as high temperature, humidity, or pressure. During production, it is possible that normal operating conditions can become adverse for the equipment. In this case, stainless steel provides excellent corrosion resistant properties. There are many variants of stainless steel. For the pharma industry, two variants are used, SS316 and SS304. A new version of SS316 called SS316L is being used in pharmaceutical industry. The SS316L variant has low carbon precipitation effect, which makes it more resilient to contamination. The SS316L version is also resistant to high temperatures, common in various pharmaceutical manufacturing processes. Surface roughness. Surface roughness is another characteristic of surface finish. Surface roughness indicates variation in the surface's height. It represents how well a surface structure is uniformly distributed throughout the equipment. Surface roughness is not suitable for pharmaceutical applications. Surface roughness is a numerical value. Higher surface roughness values are not ideal. Similarly, lower surface roughness values are ideal and represent smooth and even surfaces. Surface roughness is represented by Ra. Rough surfaces are difficult to clean because uneven surfaces facilitates the deposition of foreign bodies and contamination in them. These foreign bodies cannot be seen by the naked eye. Rough surfaces can be easily subject to wear and tear because they have low tendency to attach with the primary material. A rough surface also facilitates microbial or bacterial attachments. Bacteria or microorganisms find it helpful to hide and grip to such surfaces. For a pharmaceutical application, recommended values are less than zero point 0.8 Ra. Surface roughness greater than zero point 0.0 Ra is not acceptable for pharmaceutical equipment application. Another requirement for pharmaceutical industry is orbital welding. Like other industries, orbital welding is a common method of making joint between two metallic materials. However, for pharma industry, it is recommended that welding must be orbital. In orbital welding, weld head rotates 360 degrees at uniform speed. Rotating weld held instead of the object helps in smooth welding without any gap, deviation, or dead point, which are greatly required for a pharmaceutical equipment. It uses tungsten rod, electrode, and an inert gas. Inert gas is filled in between conducting electrodes. The benefit of orbital welding is that since the head moves instead of the atom being welded, the joints are consistent with smooth surfaces and the consistency is obtained from outside and outside. This is in contrast with other welding surfaces where smoothness is less likely to achieve. Consistent welding helps in preventing dead points, which is another advantage to the surface. Orbital welding also prevents change of surface characteristics, which is possible for other welding techniques. The last and final characteristic is the dead point. Dead point are the isolated points on surfaces which does not have any passage to and from. Since there is no way to the dead point, the substance become can be trapped in it. The trapped substance is difficult to move and locate from the dead point. The trapped substance can cause contamination and enhance microbial growth. Dead points are also difficult to clean and sanitize. To measure dead point in a pharmaceutical industry, a parameter known as dead lag is used. It is represented by L/D. For a pharmaceutical industry, recommended value is less than 2. Dead points which have value greater than 2 are not considered satisfactory and material should be cleaned, changed or repaired. Thank you for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Please subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon so that you immediately know whenever there is a new video. You can also read this article on PharmaSpec's website www.pharmaspecs.com. Link is also in the description section.